Hey, you, if you're watching this, I'm guessing you are newly pregnant. First of all, congratulations. I know how overwhelming those first few weeks can be. I was there not long ago. If you already don't know, I delivered to my baby girl 2 months back. It was a normal delivery. Consider me as your friend. I want to share everything I wish I knew someone told me during those early stages. From managing symptoms, mindset shifts, foods to eat, habits to follow, we are going to discuss everything. I'm already ready with my notebook. I have brain dump so many things I want to share with you guys. I can't compile all of these information into one video, so obviously there is going to be a part 2 of this video. So make sure to subscribe to this channel. As usual, I have divided this video into chapters so that it is easy for you to watch. Chapter 1, Mindset Shifts You Need to Master. The first thing I want you to remember is pregnancy doesn't mean you have to change who you are. I still rest up, ate my favorite foods, followed my old routines with a little tweaks. Of course, listen to your doctor, but don't lose yourself. Be you, just with more compassion and care. Number 2, not everyone's advice is for you. I remember when I got pregnant, I got advices left and right from my friends, from my family, relatives, or even from strangers. Most of these advice are contradictory. You get confused what to follow, what not to follow. This is why I highly suggest you to listen to your doctor. Even if you think it is a silly doubt, please ask your doctor and follow whatever she says. Number 3, every pregnancy is different, even every trimester. I had completely different symptoms on each trimester. I got very tired when I was 2 months pregnant. I was sleeping all day. I woke up only to eat, bath, and do some minor household chores. So don't beat yourself if you don't have the regular energy. Be compassionate and kind to yourself because you are growing a life inside. Most importantly, don't compare your pregnancy with others. Every woman is different. Everyone has a different kind of medical condition. Number 4, ask all your doubts openly to doctor. During medical checkups, I saw other women just nodding their head to whatever doctor said, taking the tablets, getting the scan, not even asking why, what, and how. And even the doctors and other medical professionals doesn't have the patience to explain each and everything to everyone. So if you have even a little bit of doubt, even if you think it is a silly thing, please ask it. What I used to do is I note down all my doubts in my phone notes app, and when I get my turn to visit the doctor barely have a minute to talk with me. Quickly, I go into my notes app and ask the questions I have already noted down. So whenever I have a doubt, I don't just Google. I note down my doubts in notes app because the doctor's answer and Google's answer is contradictory. At this stage, you don't have to confuse yourself and do any kind of self-medication. So please don't hesitate to ask your doubts to doctor. There were several times I got laughed at for my silly doubts from my doctor. I didn't mind at all because it's my health, it's my baby. So you should master that mindset. Number 5, make your partner a part of this journey. It's not just your baby, it's theirs too. So obviously, women, we have a lot of symptoms. Even the baby moments, we feel a lot of things physically inside, but with men, they don't show their emotions immediately. So you have to make your partner part of your pregnancy journey. Ask them to help you with the household chores, accompany you with every hospital visits, every scan, get your favorite foods, even make them talk to your baby. Doing this will allow your husband to emotionally bond with the baby. Lastly, don't compare, instead record your learning. Even if it is not your first pregnancy, don't compare your pregnancy with your earlier pregnancies. The environment you are in, the foods you eat, and the mindset you have, everything influences your pregnancy a lot. Instead of focusing on comparing your pregnancy with others and getting scared, record all your learnings. When you're pregnant, you go through a lot of emotions. Don't shy away from that. Whatever you come across, just feel the emotion. Don't control your anger or don't control your tears because it's not about you, it's the hormones playing. Obviously, when you're pregnant, your hormones are fluctuating like anything else. To put it in simple words, it's like you are on period every single day. That's how your mood swings feel like. So don't control your emotions. Instead, channelize your emotions in one or other way. I will talk about that later in the upcoming chapters. Chapter 2, the myths about pregnancy. I want to specifically address this because I heard so many myths. I was so confused of what is true and what is false. Here are some of the bizarre things I heard and I want to address it. Number 1, don't lie on your stomach. Actually, this one is true. When you lie down on your stomach, the oxygen supply that goes to your baby gets affected. It restricts their movement. So it's advised not to lie on your stomach. Number two, eating saffron so that your baby will be fat. This is absolutely wrong. I did my master's in biotechnology. I know how genetics works. For the last time, the color of the baby is based on the skin tone of their parents. It is purely genetic. Nothing can do with saffron. So eating saffron can have other medical benefits, but absolutely it can't influence the color of the baby. Number three, get up and turn around to sleep on the other side every time. So I heard this from multiple people, even from my mother. She asked me to get up and then turn around to sleep on the other side. The reason they give for this is the fallopian tube might tangle around the neck of the baby, making it difficult to breathe. Even though I didn't follow this, I was lying down and still slowly turning to the other side. Each time I didn't get up and turn around, and this didn't affect my baby at all. As your belly goes, it becomes difficult for you to turn to the other side. So what you can do is you use a pregnancy pillow and you can slowly turn around to the other side while lying down itself. Number four, don't wear a new dress until 5th month of your pregnancy. This is the weirdest thing I heard ever. And obviously people who say all these weird things doesn't know the reason for it. So what I did is I went to YouTube and I searched whether this is true or false. And I found out the reason being the fabrics of certain dress might irritate the skin of the mother and it might affect the baby. Instead of wearing a new dress, they're asking you to wear an old one. I didn't follow this exactly. So whenever I got a new dress, I put it in the sunlight for 1 to 2 hours and then took it and then started using it, because I bought quality clothes and I didn't have any sort of allergy from wearing any particular dress. And even I had my brother's engagement and my first Diwali, so I have to wear a new dress. This myth actually shook me and I didn't follow it. Number five, don't watch movies in theater. This one I believed it was true, but it is not. Loud sounds might affect the eardrum of your baby, but you know what? The baby is 7 layers inside of you. So there is uterus, there are several layers in the uterus, and totally there are 7 layers to protect your baby from the outside environment. So you don't have to restrict yourself from watching movies in theater. If you are not feeling any other symptoms like tiredness or nausea, vomiting, you can go and enjoy. Even I watched a movie in theater when I was 4 months pregnant. Number 6, the baby inside you will feel your emotion. This is true. Whenever you feel happy, the baby feels happy, and whenever you cry, the baby also cries. This is scientifically proven, so it is true. And also at some points, I felt that whenever I was happy and I was laughing, the baby started to kick. Lastly, there are so many myths around identifying the gender of the baby based on your stomach positions, glow on your face, your energy levels, mood swings, food cravings. I need to address this totally because I believe that it was true, but it's not. Let me tell you an example. I was pregnant at the same time my husband's friend was also pregnant. She had completely different set of symptoms and I had completely different set of symptoms, and both of us delivered a baby girl. I remember she was having low energy, a lot of acne on her face. She was craving a lot of sweets. On the other end, I had high energy. I barely had any mood swings and I was craving spicy foods. So don't go by those Instagram reels and YouTube shorts that tell you this is the gender of your baby. Even from your scan, you can't exactly identify. Whatever the gender of the baby, please pray to the God that the baby should be born healthy and happy. Chapter 3, foods to eat during your pregnancy. Let's talk about the foods you can eat because your body is doing so much work. You need a lot of food compared to what you used to eat earlier. I will suggest some of the foods that you can start taking based on my experiences. I want to give a quick disclaimer. If you're watching this video and you're pregnant, please consult your doctor and follow any of the advices. So I'm sharing just my experiences, whatever worked for me. I'll share some of the foods that helped me during the early stages of the pregnancy, which you can start consuming on the day-to-day basis. The one obvious thing I'm going to say is go for home-cooked foods more than the outside foods, because home-cooked foods are fresh, and at the early stages of the pregnancy, your body is going through so much and you get a lot of weird symptoms like nausea, dizziness, vomiting. So you have to eat foods that you are used to eating. First one is bananas. Bananas are rich in potassium and vitamin B6. Fiber, it will help you if you feel constipated during the early stages of the pregnancy. pregnancy. And since it is rich in vitamin B6, which is often given as a medical supplement by your doctor, it can reduce your nausea and morning sickness as well. It fills your stomach easily so that you don't have to eat back to back. Number 2, sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are rich in vitamin C. It is highly advised you take a lot of vitamin C rich foods so it increases the immunity in your body. And sweet potatoes are rich in vitamin A, so it can help with the development of your baby's eyes, skin, and other organs. The thing that comes to our mind is lime and oranges. Eat a lot of oranges. I remember I used to eat one orange every day until the last day of my pregnancy. Oranges also help with iron absorption, which is very important during your pregnancy, and also the collagen production, which is vital for the baby's skin and bones. The next one is eggs. Basically, have a lot of protein-rich foods. This is what my doctor also suggested. If you are taking protein powder, you are fulfilling your daily protein intake. Otherwise, you have to rely on rich protein sources. So one major thing is eggs, and even you can go for that homemade sattu maavu or the store-bought sattu maavu. I was taking sattu maavu with the milk. The last thing is nuts and dry fruits. This is a must. It gives you the lot of micronutrients to yourself and the baby, which you can't find in any other foods. But unfortunately, nuts and dry fruits caused vomiting for me, so I had to avoid it for the first 3 months. So avoid certain foods completely. Fruits like papaya, pineapple, guava, and foods like sesame, cinnamon, clove, and kasayam related drinks. And also avoid anything that is creating heat in your body, because this is going to affect you and your baby as well. Sesame, cinnamon, and clove included in certain foods is okay, but solely if you are eating sesame, cinnamon, or clove, it is going to harm you. It is going to create heat inside your body. And also don't introduce any kind of food that is completely new to you. Don't go and try some weird things. And also avoid undercooked and uncooked foods completely, like sushi. And even I heard tiramisu is not advisable for breastfeeding and pregnant women. It was so shocking. Don't take the raw eggs, okay, raw meat or undercooked meat. It is highly not advisable because it disturbs your digestive system, and also it has a lot of germs that's going to disturb your immune system. Your immunity is at its weakest during your pregnancy, so you have to be very careful with the foods you are eating. Even with eating foods from outside, make sure you are eating from a decent restaurant. You have to protect yourself from getting cold, getting fever. It is going to disturb your entire system. Also, you are already facing a lot of pregnancy symptoms. You don't have to burden yourself with all these things. Another disclaimer: if any of these foods is causing you aversions, please stop taking it. I was feeling nauseous whenever I was smelling ghee and the spices, and I had aversions whenever I ate sweet corn fish, and even whenever I opened the food which was cooked and kept for a few hours. Your nose becomes insanely sensitive, so take a note of whatever foods you are getting aversions to and stop eating those foods. Don't take it just because your family is forcing you to eat because it is healthy. Your body is avoiding it for a reason. Your baby is not liking it, and you have to avoid it for a period of time. Trust me, it is only for that period of time. After that, you can enjoy foods. I remember my mom used to advise me to take a lot of fish, but I couldn't eat fish until I was 6 months pregnant. Later, I introduced a little bit of fish here and there, but I couldn't still eat it completely. And now I'm eating fish and I'm feeding my baby. It's not causing any other aversions to me or my baby. I also avoided outside foods, especially the fast foods like pizza and burger, as much as possible. Also, I want to address one specific thing here. Be aware of taking KFC foods, especially. So when you look into the packaging of the KFC, it is written as it is not advisable for pregnant women. I don't know the proper reason for it, but overall, eat whatever you like, but make sure you don't exceed 1 to 1.5 kgs weight per month for up to 7 months. When you're pregnant, at first you would be losing a lot of weight due to vomiting and nausea, but later you have to gain at least 1 to 1.5 kgs in order to make sure that the baby is healthy. After 7 months, your weight will drastically increase. So I'll talk about that later in an upcoming video, but for now, eat whatever you like and enjoy. Chapter 4: Habits that genuinely helped me. These habits truly supported me mentally and physically. I will list down the first few obvious things that I was doing earlier. You know, right? Meditation, journaling, vision board, affirmations. Meditation, especially during this time, helps you to calm down your nerves, which is highly recommended for your baby's mental health as well. Journaling especially helps when you are overwhelmed with a lot of emotions, but you have no one to talk to at that point. Just take out a notebook and write and scribble anything that comes to your mind. It doesn't have to make sense at all. Third thing, affirmations. Repeat positive affirmations to yourself about your baby, about you. Here are some of my favorite pregnancy affirmations. Everything I need to take care of this baby is within me. I'm good enough to be a mother and care for this child within me. I'll be a great mother. I choose to be happy for me and my baby. Every week is a step closer to meeting my bundle of joy. My body cooperates with my pregnancy symptoms. My baby is healthy, happy, and growing beautifully. The food I eat nourishes me and my baby. I'm creating a safe and loving environment for my baby. I'm surrounded by love and support. My childbirth is going to be normal. The next thing is vision board. I created a vision board for my baby shower, the baby photo shoots I want to take. Start enjoying this process instead of thinking it like a chore. Look for those pictures in Pinterest and create separate boards for the baby shower and baby photo shoots and manifest a healthy and happy baby looking at them each and every day. The next thing is sun exposure. Sunlight is essential for the bone health and overall well-being of both the mother and the developing baby. Few minutes exposure to sunlight is absolutely safe. You can go outside for a walk during this period before 9 a.m. and after 4 p.m. This sunlight is rich in vitamin D, and my doctor gave me vitamin D supplements for a few weeks because I was living in Bangalore and we have badly heavy sunlight during that period. Next thing is do some household chores. I know this is insanely difficult, especially during this time, but it helps you to relax your body and it strengthens your hip bones as well. Your hip bones have to be strong and it have to loosen up in order to deliver the baby. So until 7 months, I was doing all the household chores. My husband was helping a little bit here and there. And don't push yourself too hard. If you're feeling dizzy, if you're feeling tired, take some rest and do it at your own pace. I'm such a fast-paced person. I used to do things in rush, but pregnancy slowed me down insanely. The next thing is warm water baths and hot compress during pain. Since I was living in Bangalore, it was cold during that time. I got pregnant during the monsoon times, and after that, it was winter. So obviously, it was extremely chill over there. I couldn't stand normal tap water. Whenever I had to bath, I took a warm water bath. Even during that time, I had this chills every now and then. So I was very careful with water. And cramps is one thing that is going to be there during the entire stage of the pregnancy. So make sure you get that the electric hot compress thing, which you can plug it and heat it up within like 2-3 minutes and you can use it for hours. It works like a magic. The next thing is talk to a friend. Please don't isolate yourself from your friends, even if they are single, they are married and not pregnant. None of my friends had kids. Some of them are single, some of them are married. So I thought, how could they relate with my problem? But thankfully, they had all their ears. They were constantly checking up on me every now and then, especially my mental health. There are family members to take care of my physical health. No one asked me about my mental health. Only my friends did. So I'm blessed. I'm grateful to have those friends. Talk to a friend, rant all your emotional stuff, whatever you're going through, because it is not an easy journey. Next thing, note down your scan dates and injection dates. This is highly underrated, but it really helped me. So I had to take a tetanus shot during, I don't remember which month, but a month after that, I have to take that another injection shot. I don't think they have noted down the first dose I have taken. Since I have noted down the injection dates, I reminded them to give me the second dose. And also I have the habit of noting down all the symptoms I faced during the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, especially for creating this video because I want to share all the experiences I went through to you guys. The next thing is avoid consuming crime, thriller, or any kind of disturbing content. Right now, whatever you're watching, whatever you're consuming, it is going to impact your baby. And already you're going through a lot of things. You don't have to burden yourself with consuming such kind of content. Protect your energy. I'm not a person who used to watch horror and those supernatural movies, but I used to watch thrillers very often. But I completely cut them off. Specifically, I watched a lot of Disney movies. The last thing I want to say is watch videos before the start of the trimester to know what to expect. So I'm recommending 2 YouTube channels in the description box below. Those 2 are from legit doctors. They are gynecologists themselves. They are mentioning about what kind of symptoms or what you can expect during the first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester. They have videos for each of these trimesters. So I highly recommend for you to watch. It helps you to understand what you can expect from yourself and your baby during these stages. So it is creating a lot of awareness. It's not here to to frighten you, but I don't want you to watch too many pregnancy or delivery related videos because that is going to scare you. Chapter 5, my favorite pregnancy resources. These are the personalized ones that completely work for me. I'm recommending based on my experiences. You can find all those resources in the description box below, so make sure you check it out. The first one is a period tracking app which is called as Flow. This app has a set of doctors who is curating you resources and giving you advices based on the symptoms you get at each point of your pregnancy. So it is completely authentic. So that's the reason why I got the premium version. At that point it was in a discount, so I got this 1 year subscription for just 500 rupees. The moment you record that you are pregnant, the app changes completely. It gives you a list of things for each week, the foods you can eat, what part of the body is developing for your baby, what you can expect, what symptoms you might get at that week. More than asking my doctor, this was highly helpful for me because at the initial stages of the pregnancy, you will be going and visiting your doctor once a month unless you have any other medical issues. So at this point, you can't wait for 1 month to ask your doubts to your doctor. You can see all those things in the app itself. So I highly recommend you to get the premium version of this app. I don't know how much price it is as of now, but the app always has some kind of discounts running now and then. So kindly check it out. The next thing is the YouTube creators I have already recommended. First one is Maitri. It is by a doctor named Anjali. She is a gynecologist practicing for more than 15 years. You can check out her channel for all the pregnancy related content. The next one is Deepthi Jami. She is speaking in Tamil. So since Tamil is my native language, she used to post a lot of shorts related to the each doubts I had during the pregnancy. So it was highly helpful for me. It came in my YouTube feed and instantly I fell in love with her content and I followed her immediately. So you can check her out as well. The third thing is a medicine organizer. This is going to be a time saver for you because you have a lot of supplements to take during the entire period of pregnancy. You can't open every tablet every now and then and eat. Sometimes you forget which one you have to take at which point. Instead, you can get the medicine organizer. Whenever you have to take the medicine, you can open the AM box and take the medicine from that box completely. So you can set this medicine organizer once a week and you're saving a lot of time every day. The next one is another YouTube recommendation. It is a YouTube channel called Diaper Days. They have a pregnancy meditation which I love. Fortunately, when I was 8th month pregnant, that's when they started their YouTube channel. Earlier, I used my normal meditation videos to meditate, but this channel has specifically pregnancy related guided meditation which is going to be highly helpful for you to visualize your baby, to visualize your delivery, and it calms you like anything else. I'm linking the playlist of the guided meditation I have used. Next one is a journal. So get a bullet journal or any other notebook. You just journal your heart out. Your mind has to be calm and free of any sort of distractions, any sort of family problems, whatever you think it is going to be a great impact to your baby. You need to make sure that you are happy and you are healthy. So your mental health is at most important at this point. And also due to your pregnancy, you might face some breathing problems, anxiety. It is highly advisable you do meditation and journaling. And the last thing is the movies I recommend. Here is a list of movies and series I recommend. Please take a screenshot and you can watch one by one and enjoy. As I said earlier, you can find all the resources in the description box below. So please don't forget to check it out. Chapter 6 and last chapter, hospital bag for checkups. Let's talk about something that seems very small, but it makes a huge difference. Packing an hospital bag for your checkup. Having this ready saves time, lowers your stress, and makes you prepared overall. Number one, have a water bottle, stay hydrated. During certain scans, you have to have a full stomach of water. The next thing is a sanitizer. So it is a must because you are exposed to the hospital environments. You have to be cautious of the germs. The third thing is have a file of all your medical reports arranged chronologically so that it is helpful for you for every hospital visit. They might ask certain details which you have to quickly refer through the files and check it out. So don't forget and keep your scan reports in your home. The next thing is pack your favorite fruits that is easy to eat on the go. I used to have a box of pomegranate with a spoon so that I can eat whenever I get hungry waiting for the scan. Have banana which is also gentle on your stomach. The next is highly important and you might think it is silly. Have a lot of chocolates, especially if you are feeling dizzy after blood test or scans. Sometimes doctor recommend recommend you to consume chocolates before scan. During the 5th month, I had this anomaly scan where the doctor examines the development of each organ of your baby. During this time, they have to check all the body organs. They want the baby to move and be at certain positions. So in order to stimulate the baby movements, you have to consume something sweet like chocolates. Then tissues, obviously in your hospital, they are going to provide it, but anyways, you have it for safety. The last one is some snack hack. I used to have this peanut chicky. It used to fill my stomach easily because I'm a person who gets hungry immediately, and when I was pregnant, I was getting hungry just like that. Foods like chips and biscuits doesn't fill my stomach at all. So make this small bag ready all the time, except the snacks are in the water bottle. When you have a hospital visit, you can just grab and then go immediately. And that's it. I have packed this video with a lot of information. I hope this video made you less alone and more supported in this beautiful but unpredictable journey. If you are in the early stage of the pregnancy, I promise it gets better and you are doing amazing. Drop a flower emoji if you find this video helpful. Like and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the part 2 of this video where I talk more about how to manage yourself towards the delivery phase. I will see you in the next video. Bye.